Welcome along to our seminar tonight on behalf of the Deakin Alumni community and Deakin University community in general. Our seminar tonight, Manufacturing the Geelong Region, A Future with Innovation. This topic, I suppose, we thought of a couple of months ago, having in regard to what has sort of gone on in the region and or in Australia, unfortunately, over the last probably a year, even 2 years ago, with so many industries looking to cut jobs and downsize and even closing up, unfortunately, all together. We thought it might be an opportune time to talk about some of those issues, maybe shed a little bit more light on the background to all of those, and also, I suppose, provide some sort of light at the end of the tunnel. There is some positives in all of this, which our guest speakers will go into a little bit shortly. I should also mention a couple of special guests tonight. Associate Dean International, Professor Ian Rowbottom is here. Thank you for coming along. And also our Deputy Dean of our Faculty of Business and Law, Chris Kelly, who is not here, will be here very shortly. And also, lastly, I'd like to make a special mention tonight of one of our inaugural Alumni Award winners from last year, who's visiting over here from Aceh in Indonesia. Nazariah, welcome. It's great to have you. It's great to finally meet you in person. Thanks for coming along and making the time tonight. In terms of our guest speakers tonight, Professor Peter Hodgson, I think he's meant to be coming along anyway. I'm not sure whether he's here or not yet. He dobbed you two gentlemen in from VCAMM. Our first guest speaker tonight will be Ray Dunstan, who is the CEO of VCAMM and is also an adjunct professor at Deakin University as well, and has been for a number of years now. Brad has provided leadership for VCAMM since its inception back in 2002. Has been instrumental in growing an entrepreneurial organisation focused on building innovation capacity in the local manufacturing industry, and not only in the Geelong area, obviously, but Australia-wide and also internationally as well, promoting Australian manufacturing interests over there. He has a very, I suppose, varied background in that he comes from a science background, engineering and senior management he's worked in the past. And obviously now in his current roles. Brad's career has involved operational roles in the Australian Air Force, the Royal Australian Air Force, and also senior positions within the Australian automotive industry, General Motors, Holden, where he was chief engineer before coming to VCAMM 10 years or so ago. He's currently a counsellor on the Federal Government's Future Manufacturing Industry Innovation Council, it's a mouthful, and a member of the Victorian Government's Small Business Advisory Council, where he leads the Manufacturing Working Group. He's also a director on the boards of a number of advanced manufacturing-related businesses and the Advanced Manufacturing Cooperative Research Centre. So I think it's quite clear to say an expert in his field. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Ray Dunstan.
Thanks, Alistair. I think that bio has used up all my available time, so is there any questions? So as Alistair said, I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the Victorian Centre for Advanced Materials Manufacturing, or VCAMM to its friends, and I've been there since March 2003. VCAMM started, as Alistair pointed out, in 2002, but I was the inaugural CEO. There's a picture there at our opening there with some history there. There's Peter Hodgson, who's unfortunately not here, with a bit more hair, so there, and with what was then the Innovation Minister, John Brumby, before he was Premier. Prior to that, I came from a career with Holden Special Vehicles, where I was the Chief Engineer. There's a photo of a young me there doing some test work out of one of the Wheels magazine's articles. I was there for 12 years, from around the VP Commodore right up until the start of the VY Commodore. It was a great time, I have to say. Engineering fast cars, etc., is a great thing. But I took the opportunity to come over to VCAMM. Now, why did I do that? Why would I come over to a small business like VCAMM, as it was at the time, from a successful role at HSV? I did it for a few reasons. When I was at HSV, one of the last cars I did was a concept car called the HRT 427. It was a Monaro with a big engine in it, as we did at that time. And we were putting carbon fibre into it, carbon fibre bonnets, carbon fibre bumpers, putting aluminium panels, magnesium diff housings, etc. in there. We were doing it to take weight out of the vehicle to make it go faster. Now, today we're taking weight out of the vehicle to improve its emissions, or we're taking it out to improve the range of the vehicles. But at that time I was working with universities. In fact, I was working in that role, I was working with Deakin University. I was working with then Dr. Bronwyn Fox on the quick step process doing carbon fibre, and I was working with CSIRO on carbon fibre, and also working with Monash on aluminium forming, etc. And as an engineer working with manufacturing deadlines, it was hell trying to work with the research community to get the information to come out. When the opportunity came up to swap over to VCAMM to try and be a bridge between the manufacturing industry and the research providers, I jumped at that chance. I thought it was a noble cause to do that, and so I came over. I also wanted to see what it was like to work in small business. You know, I came from, as you can see, I was in the Air Force there doing bomb disposal, so I had a large support team behind me in the Air Force. I had a large team with me when I was at Holden. I had 90 people working for me at HSV, engineers, mechanics and draftsmen, CAD draftsmen. I came to VCAMM and there was two people. There was myself and a commercial manager, David Skipper. If I wanted to get a new pen, I went down to Officeworks and bought a pen. So I wanted to see what that was like, what was the pressures like of being in a small to medium enterprise. And so it's been an interesting journey over that 10 years. VCAMM's grown from 2 people up to 14 people, and doing some great work out there connecting businesses to the research community, but we'll cover a bit more in detail on that. And at the bottom, as you can see there, I was a bomb disposal officer. One of my great things in life was actually a World War II Japanese bomb up at Darwin that was unearthed in a excavation there, which was quite a novel experience. It's one of the times in the world where you're very focused on what you're doing, I have to say, is doing that sort of thing, so that was good. Now we're here to talk about manufacturing. So it's got to be doom and gloom, doesn't it, in manufacturing? Oh, it's horrible. So doom and gloom is all you expect out of manufacturing. Well, there is some gloom, but there's a lot of other good points out of it, as Alistair pointed out. So what's going on in manufacturing? Well, what we've seen over the last 50 years or so is the service sector's grown. It's grown from being 50% of the workforce in 1960. Today it's over 75% of the workforce is in the service industry now. It's providing banking, stockbroking, making lattes for us, etc. It's gross. It's a growth industry. And as we can see, not gross. It's good because I like my lattes. What we see though is manufacturing and agriculture have been declining. Construction's been reasonably level there. That's been driven by a range of factors, as you can expect. The demand for services increased faster than the demand for goods, and particularly because average incomes have grown. In the 1960s, you would have made your coffee at home. You would have taken a thermos to work. Now we want to have a latte made for us. We want to buy our food. We don't want to make it and take it there. And so that demand is growing. And also services are generally performed locally and domestically rather than imported. So as manufacturing's grown overseas and we're importing more, then the opportunities decrease there. And also the other interesting thing is that productivity in manufacturing has been increasing. And so therefore we find that the number of jobs, etc., decreases, while service industry, making a coffee, hasn't actually changed that much over the time. So as the demand's grown, we haven't had more productivity in that area, so the jobs have grown there.